In today's video, we're sharing a 3-day itinerary for Taipei based on our own trip. We spend the week exploring this amazing city and put together what we think is the perfect itinerary if you only have a few days. This guide is packed with must-see highlights and local gems around the city center, so if you're planning your first trip to Taipei and wondering how to spend 3 days there, keep watching. We started off our first morning in Taipei the best way we know how, diving straight into the local food scene. Taiwanese breakfast turned out to be one of our absolute favorites from this trip. We picked a traditional breakfast spot near our hotel in Ximending and ordered a spread: egg crepes, dumpling, dumplings, and our latest addiction, black tea soy milk. Everything was fresh, savory, and super filling. Honestly, such a satisfying way to kick off the day. We based ourselves in Ximending during our stay, and we would definitely recommend this area for first-timers. It's a fun, vibrant neighborhood with endless street food, shopping, and nightlife. Plus, it's super well connected with the MRT. However, instead of hopping on the metro right away, we decided to walk towards Kai-shek Memorial Hall, our first site of the day. This way we got to soak up a bit more of the city and pass by some iconic spots along the way. For example, we made a short stop at 228 Peace Memorial Park. It's a beautiful green space right in the middle of the city, created to commemorate the victims of the 1947 incident. There's a lot of history behind this place, but what stood out most was how calm and reflective it felt. Lots of shady walkways, a peaceful pagoda surrounded by water, and even a few locals doing Tai Chi. It's a lovely breather from the busy streets. From the park, it's just a short walk to Kai-shek Memorial Hall, one of Taipei's most iconic landmarks. The Memorial Hall is huge, with white marble walls, blue tiled roofs, and a grand staircase leading up to the main hall. It's dedicated to the former president of the Republic of China and sits in a beautifully landscaped plaza with traditional Chinese gardens and ponds. Inside, you'll find a massive bronze statue of Chiang Kai-shek, and if you time it right, you can catch the ceremonial changing of the guards, which happens every hour from 9 till 6 p.m. We're currently now at the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial, and behind me you can see the Liberty Square, which is beautifully done. This courtyard is humongous, and as you can see, it has these beautiful flower beds on the side. Yeah, it's really impressive. And then all the way at the end you can see the arch, and already when we started walking here, it was so impressive. It's way bigger than I expected it, and I saw on Google, and yeah, the whole place is beautiful. We also just witnessed the change of guards, which is every hour from 9 till I guess 5 to 6, and yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It was very spectacular. I didn't know what to expect. I thought they're gonna change the guards, but it's a whole ritual, and they're very handy with their weaponry, what they do. Maybe Moritz can explain it a little bit better, but very impressive sight to see.
So the change of guards is obviously a very important ritual to have, and of course at a place like this, which has that big of an importance like the Independence Square, you're only going to have the best of the army and of the guards, of course, doing this change of guards, and it's one of the highest honors, I would assume, for those people as well. So yeah, it is a very big deal and of high importance, of course.
After wandering around the park around the memorial hall, we walked about 10 minutes to a cute place we discovered, Rongjin Gorgeous Time. It's a small Japanese-style street filled with cafes, dessert shops and souvenir stores, all in beautifully restored wooden buildings. The place opened in late 2022 and sits on the grounds of a former prison from the Japanese colonial era. We were especially intrigued by this dessert shop serving beetle-shaped ice cream and pancakes. Many of these places are pop-up stores, so they come and go. Can I see the package? Oh my god, it's quite cute.
Let's see how it is. Okay.
How is the inside? So it's sakura, so it's nice and pink.
It tastes a little bit like mochi or rice kind pudding in there. Something like that.
I do see white. Maybe there is some rice in there.
It's very good though.
We also saw some girls renting kimonos and doing photo shoots in front of the traditional buildings. If you're getting hungry, head out to Yongkang Street, which is nearby. It's one of the best food streets in Taipei. There's a huge mix of trendy cafes, dessert shops, bubble tea spots and gift stores. You'll also find classic street food snacks like scallion pancakes, or if you prefer to enjoy a sit-down restaurant, there are amazing places serving beef noodle soup or Xiao Long Bao. It's a great area to just wander around, snack a little here and there, and enjoy the vibe. Next up, Huashan 1914 Creative Park. From Yongkang, we took the MRT's yellow line to get there. This place was originally a Japanese sake brewery, and now it's one of Taipei's most popular cultural spaces. It's a popular place to go for art lovers and locals during the weekend when the place has a very nice energy. You'll find everything from art galleries and concept stores to cafes, craft beer bars and gourmet eateries. Inside these red brick warehouses, the place is very interesting to explore with its cool industrial meets nature look. And what better way to end the day than at a night market? We took the green MRT line to Raohe Street Night Market, one of the most popular ones in Taipei, especially with tourists and for good reason. Just before entering the market, don't miss the stunning Songshan Temple at the entrance. With its detailed carvings and bright colors, it's worth a quick look. Inside the market, you'll find grilled meats, fried snacks, seafood, and plenty of desserts. Night markets are the perfect place to try a little bit of everything and just take in the local vibe. our favorite was the famous black pepper pork bun, baked in a traditional clay oven right at the market entrance. You'll probably see the line before you see the stall, totally worth the wait. I thought Moritz was still in line, but he already has them.
Super fast.
He went super quick.
So we're trying the Fuzhou pepper bun today, and as you can tell, this is the bun. We read about this online, so we're really curious how it's gonna be. Oh, you can already see it like a little bit open here already. So, oh yeah, you can see what it looks like.
Yum. Nice.
Oh wow.
Can I see? Oh my, super nice.
Here. Very nice.
Yeah. Definitely try one of them. That's Moritz's second, by the way. Start your second morning the local way with another amazing Taiwanese breakfast. We picked a busy neighborhood shop that was already full of commuters. Orders flew out so quickly we could barely keep track. We grabbed this delicious breakfast set platter. After grabbing breakfast, head out to the National Palace Museum, one of the city's most iconic museums. Take the red MRT line to Shilin Station, then hop on bus R30 for the short ride to the National Palace Museum. The building sits in the hills on Taipei's northern edge, so the ride itself gives you a nice peek at the greener suburbs. National Palace Museum. We took the bus, it was very easy, and we're gonna see inside. Mostly it's about Chinese arts and artifacts.
Indeed, and right now we are at the garden, which is right next to it. Super beautiful, like a lot of traditional houses there are, a lot of rocks and super pretty plants.
Pavilions.
Yes,
and palms.
And it started raining, so we're gonna go inside now.
It's a bit unfortunate, but it's very beautiful,
yes.
So make sure to check that out.
Indeed. So we'll see you inside.
Often described as one of the most important museums in the Chinese-speaking world, the National Palace Museum owns almost 700,000 artifacts that span 8,000 years of Chinese history. The collection's core was moved from Beijing's Forbidden City during the last years of the Chinese Civil War. In fact, more than 20% of the original Palace Museum treasures are now preserved here in Taipei. Plan at least 3 or 4 hours to see the essentials. The galleries are arranged by categories: intricately carved wood furniture on one floor, Taoist and Buddhist statues on another, and an ivory hall where astonishingly detailed miniatures will leave you speechless. The jewelry displays are equally impressive, many hairpins that look like tiny sculptures. The ceramic section is packed with Ming Dynasty blue and white dragon vases, and the scroll gallery includes a stunning ink painting of tigers that instantly became one of our favorites. Before leaving, step into the interactive Marvels Within the Sea exhibition for a fun digital break from the traditional showcases. Dat zijn al mijn vriendjes. Yippie. right now we're on the floor with the two most popular pieces in the whole museum. I also saw it online up front, and yeah, you can't miss it. There are so many people. And one of them being like braised pork belly, like a piece of meat. It really looks like it, so it's like from a brown stone, and the artist really made it look like a piece of braised pork meat. And the other one, the more healthy option, is like a cabbage looking jade stone. So it's made from jade, and he crafted it very smartly, from the bottom being white going to the green, and the details are extraordinary. And if you look on the top very closely, you even see like this kind of a buck or a hopper kind of animal on it. It's very cool, the two pieces. Yeah.
Once we left the museum, we got caught in one of those classic Taipei rain showers, sudden, warm and heavy. We jumped on the R30 bus back to Xilin, back on the red MRT line to switch to the blue MRT line, and got off at Longshan Temple station. Luckily, by the time we got there, the rain had calmed down, but everything around the temple was still wet and shiny from the downpour. Longshan Temple is one of the oldest and most famous temples in Taipei. It was built in the 1700s by immigrants from Fujian and is still a popular spot for locals to pray, light incense, and make offerings. The temple has several halls, all decorated with colorful carvings, dragon pillars, and statues of different gods. It gets pretty busy, especially on weekends, but it's a cool place to just walk around and soak in the atmosphere. Before you leave, take a moment to check out the fountain-like waterfalls near the entrance.
I think this is the most touristic temple we've ever visited, must be. It's groups on groups on groups, and yeah. But it's still nice. You can hear the background, like singing, like the Buddhist chants, I believe it is, and it's still pretty, but yeah, it's hectic. But the details are so beautiful. That, I must say, is one of the most beautiful ones we've ever seen. Like the intricate details are like...
Less than 5 minutes on foot from the temple sits Bopiliao historical block. This single lane of Qing dynasty brick houses has been carefully restored, and its quiet arches give you a quick glimpse into 19th century Taipei. Today, many of the rooms host rotating art shows or cultural events, so it's worth a slow walk before you move on. From Bopiliao historical block, we walked north towards the Ximending area. On the way there, we passed through a bunch of more local neighborhoods, which were actually really interesting to see. Taipei's full of these covered walkways and arcades, which make walking around so much easier, especially when it's raining or the sun's blazing. You'll pass family-run eateries, small hardware shops, and the occasional tucked-away temple, all of which make the 30-minute stroll feel like its own little adventure. Once you reach Ximending, you'll instantly feel the shift in energy. This is one of the most popular shopping and entertainment neighborhoods in the city. Some people even call it the Harajuku of Taipei. The streets are packed with shops, food stalls, arcades, and fun little finds around every corner. Our first stop was the Red House, a striking octagonal building with a Western-style design. It was originally built in 1908 during the Japanese colonial period and later turned into a theater. Right outside the Red House, there's a rainbow-painted street that's become a favorite photo spot. The whole square around here is great for taking pictures, especially in the evening when the buildings light up with giant billboards and neon signs. Something we noticed all around Taipei, but especially in this area, were claw machines and vending machines, literally everywhere. They're open 24/7, covered in bright colors, flashing lights, and filled with toys, snacks, and gadgets. We couldn't resist trying one. It was surprisingly fun and addictive. Ximending is also a food lover's paradise. We both have a sweet tooth, and one spot that really stood out was this tiny corner shop selling crispy milk donuts. Seriously, they were next level good. Super crispy on the outside, soft and milky on the inside, and dusted with powdered sugar. Just be ready for a line, they're really popular. Another fun part of Ximending is Tattoo Street, where you'll find all kinds of tattoo and piercing shops next to fashion boutiques and accessory stores. Not far from there is also America Street and Cinema Park, which are filled with colorful murals and street art. It's a cool area to wander around with a drink in hand. There are also a few relaxed bars that serve local craft beer. For dinner, we highly suggest to try Xiao Long Bao, or Taiwan's famous soup dumplings, if you haven't already. If you've never had them before, they're little dumplings filled with a savory broth and pork. They're super flavorful and a must when you're in Taipei. We went to Longshan Temple soup dumpling, a well-loved spot that's known for their dumplings. It's a pretty small place, so we had to wait about 30 minutes to get in. That's totally normal actually in Taipei, especially at popular food spots. But honestly, waiting isn't so bad, especially here, where you can watch the chefs making the dumplings fresh behind the counter. It's really fun watching their technique while waiting. The dumplings were absolutely worth the wait, hot, juicy, and packed with flavor. After dinner, we made our way back to Ximending walking street to see what it's like after dark, and honestly, this area really comes alive at night. The streets were buzzing with people, especially younger crowds and groups of friends just hanging out, shopping, or grabbing snacks. It had a totally different vibe compared to during the day, way more energetic and fun. There were street performers everywhere, from singers to dancers and even people doing magic tricks. You can easily spend hours just walking around, people watching, and soaking in the atmosphere. Another fun thing to check out here is the Pop Mart store, filled with collectible blind boxes and quirky toys, and the massive Don Don Donki, a Japanese discount chain that sells everything from snacks to cosmetics to weird gadgets. We honestly just kept wandering around and exploring. Between the bright lights, music, shops, and food stalls, there was always something to see or try. On our third day in Taipei, we are heading east, starting with a visit to Songshan Cultural and Creative Park. This place felt a bit more low-key and peaceful compared to the other cultural spots we'd seen, and that was part of the charm. It's set inside an old tobacco factory, and the whole area has been turned into a creative hub. Think old warehouses and industrial buildings now filled with design studios, concept stores, art spaces, and pop-up exhibitions. We love just wandering around, peeking into different shops. One minute you're looking at quirky watches, the next you're admiring handmade jewelry or minimalist stationery. There are a few cozy cafes scattered around, and we ended up trying one of those artisanal desserts that are made fresh while you wait. The vibe of the park feels really raw and real. There's graffiti on the walls, trees growing around the buildings, and lots of green space mixed in. One of the coolest surprises was the back entrance. It leads out onto a wooden boardwalk surrounded by wetlands, which kind of makes it feel like you've stepped into an urban jungle. Near the main entrance, there's also a European-style garden with a fountain and beautiful statues. After soaking up the artsy atmosphere at Songshan, make your way to the National Dr. Sun Yat-Sen Memorial Hall, one of the most important historical buildings in Taipei. The hall was built in honor of Sun Yat-sen, often called the founding father of modern Taiwan. Even though the building itself was closed during our visit, we still think it's worth stopping by for the surrounding park. It's a lovely space to walk around and relax. There's a lake with fish and lotus plants, shaded paths, and plenty of benches. Best of all, you get an amazing view of Taipei 101 Tower from here, perfect for a little photo stop before heading to the tower itself. From the Memorial Hall, you can easily walk to Taipei 101 if you're up for it. If you're coming from another part of town, just hop on the red MRT line, which takes you straight to the tower. The station even has a direct exit into the food court, which is super convenient. Taipei 101 is one of the city's most famous landmarks, and for good reason. This sleek skyscraper with its bamboo-like design used to be the tallest building in the world when it opened in 2004. It held that title until 2009, and it's still one of the tallest today at over 509 meters. To visit the observatory, you first head to the 5th floor to get your ticket, unless you've booked it online in advance. From there, you'll ride on one of the fastest elevators in the world, straight to the 89th floor. It only takes about 30 seconds, and your ears will probably pop on the way up. At the top, you get sweeping views all over Taipei. On a clear day, you can even spot Elephant Mountain, which we'll be heading to later today. It's definitely worth timing your visit for good weather. Fog or smog can really block the view. Another cool feature on the 88th floor is the tuned mass damper, a giant 660-ton steel ball that helps the building stay stable during strong winds or earthquakes. It's an impressive piece of engineering, and they've done a good job making it visually interesting too. After spending some time at Taipei 101, maybe doing some shopping or grabbing a snack, make your way to the Elephant Mountain trailhead. It's just a short walk from the tower. The trail is one of the best short hikes you can do in the city. It's under 2 kilometers long, but consists mostly of steep stairs, around 500 steps in total. It takes about 20 minutes to reach the main viewing platform, depending on your pace. The hike itself isn't difficult, and most people should be able to manage it. That said, the combination of stairs and Taiwan's heat and humidity can make it feel like a bit of a workout. Luckily, there are several rest areas where you can take a breather and already enjoy some amazing views of the city. At the top though, the effort totally pays off. The viewpoint gives you one of the most iconic views of the Taipei skyline, with Taipei 101 standing tall in the middle of it all. We timed our hike for just before sunset, which we highly recommend, not only for the heat, but you will get to see the city transform as the sun goes down, and if you stick around a bit longer, the skyline lights up and looks absolutely magical. It's a popular spot though, so don't expect solitude, but the vibe is still great. People are usually just enjoying the moment, snapping photos, chatting, or sitting quietly with the view. For us, it was the perfect way to wrap up our Taipei adventure. After climbing all those stairs, we definitely worked up an appetite, so we made our way back to Ximending. But honestly, wherever you're staying, just try to find a local spot nearby that's buzzing with people. That's usually a good sign. We ended up in this little basement restaurant tucked away in a shopping mall. It wasn't easy to find, but totally worth it. It was crowded, loud, and a little chaotic, but in a fun way. We ordered crispy pork cutlet with curry rice, a side salad, and a small bowl of broth. The portions were big, prices were great, and it all came out super fast. Another great local dish to look out for is minced braised pork over rice, often topped with a marinated egg and some silky tofu skin. It's a simple meal, but so comforting and full of flavor. Definitely something you should try before leaving Taiwan. And that's it for our 3-day Taipei itinerary. We mainly focused on the inner city, but if you have more time, there's so much more to see, from relaxing hot springs in Beitao to scenic day trips to Jiufen or tea houses up in the hills. Even shorter hikes in the nearby hills. Taipei has so many different sides, but even just 3 days gives you a great mix of culture, food, nature and city life. We hope this itinerary helps you make the most of your own trip.